We're live.
Excellent. Hello, world. This is the Podlayer Proof of Concept demo team doing what we do, which is tracking the Mojo phenomenon, the human qualia phenomenon, and showing the methodology that we use to do so, which is the 5 gears methodology. We have a normal 3-act structure. Act 1, fundamentals. Act 2, intermediate. Act 3, advanced. On the fundamentals, we'll be focusing on making a connection between pictures that have pop culture samples doing the physiological cues we're talking about and the physiological cue descriptor terms that we use, the language of Mojo reading, connecting that to actual physiological cues, pictures of them. Then in the intermediate portion, that's our main proof of concept. That's where the team has had a week to look at 5 to 10 samples under blind test conditions. And now we'll see what the cohesion of accuracy is going to be. And the most challenging samples we'll spend some time reviewing. These samples this week came from Glenn. And then in the advanced portion, we'll be doing a live read in real time. The team doing that, you can hear how they talk to each other with assertions and questions and just general commentary. And that is representative of what each Mojo reader is doing inside their own psyche. All right, and the samples for that, the live read, will also come from Mitchell. I'm sorry, Glenn, my bad. Okay, so instructions, we'll go ahead and get started. I am Nai G. Coach.
I am Jaini Jailin.
I'm Nai Fan.
And this is Nige Mitchell. I mean Glenn.
And we have a light crew tonight as the Mother Day has, come and done what it does. Dun, dun.
Yeah,
Yes, Mother's Day commandeering. All right, so Colossians, take it away.
All right. So we are continuing on the 2010 through 2014 TV show timeline. We're going to get it started with Coach following the normal protocols and reading the show descriptions and calling out the cast. And yes, it is screen share. Yes. So whenever you're ready.
Can everyone see this?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Excellent. All right, Borgia. It was the age of Da Vinci and Michelangelo, of enlightened creativity. Holy goodness.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Look here.
Intellectual, but it was also the age of Machiavelli, a rampant lawlessness, incessant war, and unspeakable depravity. At the heart of the world order was the Vatican, the arbiter of conflicts between kingdoms and empires. And at the center of the Vatican was a man whose quest for power would propel him to seek the ultimate prize, the Holy See of Rome. He was a man whose name would become synonymous with ruthlessness, and whose reign as Pope would be remembered as the most infamous chapter of the history of the Catholic Church. Rodrigo Borgia. His 4 children: Juan, the oldest, a prideful, lazy, unscrupulous sexual predator; Caesar, a young man torn between a faith that was not his calling and his dark, violent nature; Lucretia, a young girl discovering the secret power that a woman's sexuality holds; and Alfredo, an innocent child who would come of age in a family riven by conflict. Would provide Rodrigo with a challenge as great as the political maneuvering of his political and religious rivals. Borgia is a 1-hour dramatic series that chronicles the rise to power of this Catalan cardinal and his clan, alliteration, who would seek to establish a dynasty that would hold sway over the entire world. Though a man of faith, Rodrigo was also enthralled to the pleasures of the flesh. Not only did he have, well, he's not the only pope for that, not only did he have to deal with the plotting and conspiracies of great powers, but he was locked in a struggle to contain the bitter sibling rivalries that threatened to tear his family apart. Borgia is a cauldron of intrigue, violence, murder, lust, politics, faith, incest, betrayal, and redemption. A story as compelling and enlightening as the age in which it takes place. Goodness.
Whoa. Good job. Okay. Naizi John Doman as Rodrigo Borgia.
Hi.
Okay, so let's see here. He's a Naizi, and you can see that in here's pretty classic on the right-hand side look of his momentum powers. That would be the power of Nai, which gives this cunning look to the Naizi's eyes. You can see him here kind of looking to the camera, towards the camera, and kind of looking through it like this piercing assessment of whatever he's looking at. And then he has that his cheeks are neutralized and have a bracing sheer look to it. And that comes from the Z, um, which you would also be able to detect when he articulated as well. Um, Here on the left-hand side, you can see his offside power, which is the power of Jai. It comes with an unaware emotive reaction. So you see here on the, it's radiating from his mouth area. It's going up his, traveling above the midline and into his cheeks, but doesn't, or no, it doesn't go into his cheeks. Sorry, my bad. His cheeks don't have the motive expression. It goes up to the midline, and you can see the emphasis on the lower lip for Jean.
Yeah. Naiji, Mark Ryder. Naiji, in contrast to Jai and Aware Mouth, have G Aware Mouth. And instead of the emoting not readily going into the cheeks, it does for the Naiji, but not into the eyes.
Nijai is Isolde Dai Chalk. So the Nijai, you can see that they have Ni as their source power, and it gives them this very it gives them an unhooded look to their eyes, as well as a laughing quality. Her eyes are very open. You can see in both pictures, maybe a little bit more on the right. I mean, on the one on the left, because she's got some jive emoting going on there. But you can see that the eyes have this very laughing, dancing quality, this dreamy kind of quality, this very what's the word? We've used it once before. It has to do with like the tacit yinness of like how the interpretive powers are versus the concreteness of the literal powers. But yeah, I guess that like an eternal quality, which is gives it that magical kind of look to it.
Is Bruno here? Am I?
Thank you.
All right. Nizi Diarmude noise. Okay, so Nizi have Jai as their values-based power. Being logic-based, it's not going to do a lot of traveling up the face, but I'll focus on it being a reactive, adaptive power, is the expectancy. In both these, he actually has his primary powers on. He's looking at whatever's going on with his nai. He's got the sheerness in his cheeks from the Z, but his mouth is sort of taking a position. It's not actually moving. It's a position anchoring his Z. Yeah, both these, you see the Z is primary, and the Jai is anchoring what it's doing, supporting it like a hot furnace inside.
Jaini Marta Gastini. Um, I'll focus here on the Jai, since Coach talked about Jai for the Nizi above there. For them being offside power, doesn't travel as much into the face. It goes up to the midline for them. For Jaini being Jai Alpha, you'll see that quality of expectancy. You'll see that in them as well. You'll see that this is classic here on the right-hand side with the mouth sort of like open apart with that emphasis on the lower lip, kind of with this expectant look. And but unlike the Nizi, the emotive expression will travel easily for the Jaini up the face, and in fact will travel into the eye area as well, giving a veil of poignancy look to their face. Even on the picture on the right-hand side here, where she is not really activated the Jai muscle flexations, you still see that veil of poignancy over her eyes.
Nizai are Malik. Nizai have Zai as their tandem power, and as such, their cheeks will be be very unflappable. In fact, because that they are logic-based, because it's in the tandem position, the motive expressioning will not readily go above the midline of the face. Instead, around the upper cheeks area, you will see effectively pure Zai.
And he, I believe, is also the brother of the director, Terrence Malick.
Mm. Interesting.
Nizai Assumpta Cerna, is that new?
These ladies are new.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was Symmetry.
Oh! Man, I'm not
Yeah, and Bruno's also here too, so
okay.
go back.
Yeah,
Right, so Nizai Assumpta Cerna. So Nizai females are new, so another cue with the Nizai is that they have Ji as their offside power, and you can see in the picture on the left, she does quite a bit of emoting, and it has, with the Nizai, like a Cheshire quality to it, where the mouth will open more to the left and right, and the emoting will go up, but it won't go past the midline, which maintains this very sheer quality to the cheeks, but they do have a lot of activation below the midline area with the G, and there's a strong emphasis on the upper lip because they have G as their it's an aware power, and that's they're emoting. That's what they use as compared to Jai.
good. Oh yeah, and on that too, the Zez gatherers have some very poppy smiles. They can be tricky. They pop out.
Nizai Victor Sheikh. So the Nizai have emotive neutralizing that goes all the way from below the lip line to just below the eyes in the brim line. So that takes up the majority of that space. And yeah, like Glenn was saying, the G movement really is limited to the lip line, from the lip line to the midline. Yeah, the midline of the face. So it's pretty restricted. Not as restricted as the Xi or the Xi alpha, for example, but it's the second most restricted.
Good. Oh, just make sure on the right to see grip a little bit of the mouth area. Ruxum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ruxum Lily. Mm-hmm. Yep.
This way.
That is you.
Okay. Nijai Dejin Kukik.
That's new.
That's new. Okay. What firstly pops out is going to say with the fourth gear riffing, then I'll get into what the riff is. On the right, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Frodo. Not Frodo. Yeah, Frodo. Elijah Wood. A little bit of Elijah Wood on the right. And the quality is that very bright-eyed look, very open and receptive, and then the Jai, like an anchor that vibrates with where the bright eyes are going. Yeah, very cool. Interesting on the left and the right. The left, you kind of see his modulation powers. You're seeing the cooling of the cheeks with his Z and active listening, and then also just a generally more held quality, including a pinchness in the eyes from the Vi.
Nizy Paul Brennan.
Jinai, Scott William. Jinai, in contrast to the Nai Ji, have their Ji warm, aware emoting go all the way from the mouth area all the way through the brim line. It will go into the eyes and up to the brow line area, and that will give off that charming, some well, it may or may not be charming, but Ji aware signal.
Nijai Michael Fitzgerald.
Nizi Pharrell Dobry.
Giant Christian McKay.
Nope.
All right, shiny male. So what I'll talk about is being a tower. There is, because he's interesting because his face is not the most elongated, it's a bit more rounded, but still he has that energy, that elongated energy, a general kind of languidness, including the warming of the eyes that come from the veil of poignancy, but as a part of that, just a general calmness. There's a general kind of calm holding of his space, in this case warmly holding his space at balance, at peace.
Naiji Andrew Holly.
Jaini Alejandro Albarakin. Is Jaini male? Oh, okay.
Now we've done that one.
Nijai Valentina de Costino.
American Horror Story. An anthology series that centers on different characters and locations, including a haunted house, an insane asylum, a witch coven, and a freak show. Each season focuses on a different setting. The cast plays different roles in different seasons.
Gina Evan Peters.
Naiji Jessica Lang. Naiji, see, I think she's doing here. Here on the left-hand side, it's more of momentum, at least insofar of the you can see the G, the aware expression, signaling to the camera, kind of this open, friendly, confident smile. And it travels up the midline and into the cheeks, but it doesn't travel into the eyes. The eyes will have this cutting quality, and here on the left-hand side, she has a little more of that V brightness. That's her polar power. On the right-hand side picture, she has is using her Zai, her outside power Zai, which gives her that unflappable, like stone face look, like you can't, which helps with not being able to read somebody, and has that cunning-eyed look from her 9.
Jaini Sarah Paulson.
Naiji Francis Conroy.
Jaini Dennis O'Hare.
Naiji Lily Robb.
Jinai Emma Roberts. Jinai ladies are new. Jinai, they'll have, so I'll contrast them with the Naiji lady that I just spoke about. So big differences that will come between the Jinai and the Naiji is one, so both, I guess I'll start with a point of commonality, which is, so they both will have Nai, the power of Nai, both will have the power of Ji, and you'll be able to read that in their facial cues. Difference with the Jinai is that Ji is their first power and not Nai, which will give them a unifield face, full helmet face, and that Ji emotive expression is going to travel all the way up to the face and into the eyes and give this whole look of caring, a helmet of caring. And they'll have Nai, but the Nai will be in kind of a second position. So the Ji is the primary energetic cue that you'll see in the face, and then with that secondary cunningness in the eyes. But again, the mouth will be what pops out more, with the upper lip having emphasis, as opposed to above, where it's the eyes first, and then you'll see the G smile, but it will only come up to the brim line.
Naiji Kathy Bates.
Jaini Tesa Farmiga.
Nizai Angela Bassett.
Jaini Zachary Quinto.
Nizai Naomi Grossman.
It's an interesting second picture.
Yeah.
Naiji Dylan McDermott.
Zenai Jamie Brewer. So Zenai female is new, and with the Zenai I'll contrast them with the Nai Z. With the Zenai you can see that like the Jinai that Jalin was speaking about, in comparison to the Naiji, the Xeni also have the same thing in the sense that their bracing quality is going all the way up throughout their entire face, so they have a unifield quality to their face, but they have a cool helmet of bracing as compared to a warm helmet of caring. And their emoting is localized to just the mouth area, so it doesn't go beyond the lip line, and it is unaware with the bottom half of the lip popping out more so than the upper one. And their mouth in general does pop out more so than their eyes because they are discernment leads, and they lead with Z, and that gives them like this overall anvil quality, which is very bracing, very forward, and their eyes are secondary, and they pop out. They pop out second, and they have Nai, but it's Nai that's being led mainly by the Z, not the other way around.
And Sofri.
Sofri, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Levi Gaburi Sidibi.
That is new.
Okay. So Jibai have unifield face as the Xeni that Glenn was just talking about. In this case, it is a unifield signal of caring that goes from below the lip line all the way to above the brow line. So it takes up the whole face. And in contrast, the neutralizing, which is Xi, is polar, and so it's limited to just below the brim line, sort of like between the brim line and the midline of the face. So it occupies just a very limited area just below the eyes and above the midline.
Naiji Joseph Fines.
Nizy Michael Chiklis.
Nijai Lizzie Rocher.
Nizy James Cromwell.
Genai Finn Whitrock.
Is Gina male name?
What's that? We've done Shinai before.
I think we've done G9 mail. I
Okay.
think I remember doing one.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that checked off.
Who's up?
Is it Bruno or Glenn?
It's Coach, I believe.
Oh, Coach. Okay, thank
Nizy
you.
Erica Urban, is that new? Nizy female? Or...
Nizy female is new. Yes.
Okay. So one thing that I think is very appealing about the Nizy, both female and the male, but here look at the female sample, is the unique kind of 1,000-yard stare they have, which is an interesting contrast to the Naiji. We're Naiji are values-based mojo, so overall they have a ease of warmness going to the cheeks, but when looking out and more like from the inner world looking outward, the gaze gets a bit chilly because it's Nai with Xi. With the Nai Z, it's different. Outwardly, they're bracing with the Z, but when they're kind of just really like staring, looking at the world and taking it in with both of their subjective powers, they have this detached, poignant quality. It's really quite unique. James Spader does a great job. It's detached but poignant. It's really quite wonderful, and one of the many reasons they are so good at acting and other things.
Zai Connie Britton. Dun, dun.
Oh goodness! Get ready. Here we go. Here we go.
Game of Thrones. Several noble families fight for control of the mythical land of Westeros. 9 noble families fight for control of the mythical land of Westeros. We made I don't know that if I was writing this, I'd probably omit that sentence, but whatever. The political and sexual intrigue is pervasive. Robert Baratheon, king of Westeros, asks his old friend Eddard, Lord Stark, to serve as hand of the king or highest official. Secretly warned that the previous hand was assassinated, Eddard accepts in order to investigate further. Meanwhile, the Queen's family, the Lannisters, may be hatching a plot to take power. Across the sea, the last members of the previous and deposed ruling family, how do you pronounce it? Targaryens, are also scheming to regain the throne. The friction between the houses Stark, Lannister, Baratheon, and Targaryen, and with the remaining great houses, Greyjoy, Tullian, Aaron Tyrell, and Martell leads to full-scale war, all while a very ancient evil awakens in the farthest north. Amidst the war and political confusion, an eclectic military order of misfits, the Night Watch is all that stands between the realms of men and icy horrors beyond.
I think it should be spaced out.
And this is Nijai Emily Clark as Daenerys Targaryen.
Gina Kit Harington.
Gina Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister.
Great. Nijai Maisie Williams as Arya Stark.
Nizai Sophie Turner as Sansa Stark.
Naizi Nikolaj Coster-Waldau as Jaime Lannister.
Shiny Lena Headey.
Nizy Charles Dance as Tywin Lannister.
Nizy Rory McCann as Sandor the Hound Clegane.
Genai Alfie Allen is Theon Greyjoy.
Oh no, Naizi Jack Gleason as Joffrey Baratheon.
He has left us. Goodbye, Joffrey.
Shiny John Bradley.
Shiny Michelle Fairley as Caitlin Stark, also dead.
Do we have to reveal everything to the audience?
No spoilers or anything.
Come on now, that's like season what? Come on, catch up.
Nizy Isaac
All right,
Hempstead
fine.
Wright as Bran Stark.
Naiji Aiden Gillen as I don't know.
Peter.
Peter Littlefinger Baelish.
Genai Conleth Hill as Lord Varys.
Great job.
Shiny Richard Madden.
Red Wedding.
Nizy Sean Bean as Ned Stark.
Gina Jason Momoa as Khal Drogo.
And Aquaman.
Oh. Ben?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Mark Addy is pending Robert
I
Baratheon.
believe he was read as Nijai.
I believe he has.
Yeah, he looks like
I don't think I've
distinct
updated.
Amnesia anymore.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe he has been read as Nijai.
Just take the nearest Nijai. Oh, there's one right below.
No, that's so funny. Is it a coach now?
Is it my turn?
Glenn. Yeah, it's Glenn.
Nijai Gwendolyn Christie as Brienne of Tarth.
Naiji Stephen Delane as Stannis Baratheon.
What a bastard.
Yeah.
Nizy Pedro Pascal as Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper.
Gina Ian Glenn as Jorah Mormont.
Nizai Rose Renfrey.
Nizy Jerome Flynn as Bronn.
Naiji Julian Glover as Grandmaster Pycelle.
This guy's tricky.
Nizy Ian McKelney as Barristan Selmy, Sir Barristan Selmy.
Jaini Christian Nairn as Hodor.
Genai Joe Dempsey.
Nijai Daniel Portman as Podrick Payne.
Nizai Natalie Dormer as Marjorie Tyrell.
Nizy Finn Jones as Loras Tyrell, also going to be Iron Fist soon in Netflix.
Interesting. Nizy Liam Cunningham as Davos Seaworth.
Nizy Natalia Tennant.
Nizai Esme Bianco as Ross.
Nizai Carice Van Houten as Melisandre.
And
Red woman.
weird lady. Ginai Ron Donachie as Roger Cassell.
Nizy Michael McKell Hatton as Ruth Bolton.
Ginai James Osborne.
Nizai Hannah Murray as Gilly.
Naiji Jacob Anderson as Grey One.
Nijai Una Chaplin as Talissa Maygear.
Nige Thomas Brody Sangster as Jojen Reed.
Ginai Ewan Young.
A lot of people, that is the most hated person on Game of Thrones. That is saying a lot. Game of Thrones has quite a few hateable characters, and he is on the top of a lot of people's list.
He was quite likable in another show. I get the name. Misfits, I think. Is my turn?
It's Ben's turn, I think.
It is?
No,
No.
I
sorry.
think I just took my turn. So I think it's Glenn's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jaini Diana Rigg as Olenna Tyrell.
Naiji Ellie Kendrick as Mira Reed.
Nizy Gethin Anthony as Renly Baratheon.
Shinai Tom Washiha as Jaken Hagar.
Najee Harry Lloyd.
Nizy Gemma Whelan as Yara Greyjoy, I believe.
Naiji Kate Dickey as Lisa Aaron.
She's a Nizy.
Ginai Kieran Hines as Mance Raider.
Nizai Tara Fitzgerald as Solis Baratheon.
Najee and David Bradley as Walder Frey.
And we are still going, people, with Ginai Miltis Yorelamu as Sirio Forel.
I believe this is the biggest one in the whole collection.
Ginai Ed Strine as Dario Naharis.
Naiji, how do you pronounce that shit?
Mikhail?
Mikhail Husman as Dario Naharis, recasted.
Mm-hmm. Jaini Sybil Kakili as Shay.
Najee Donald something.
Jaini Amy Richardson as Marcella Baratheon.
Nizai Charlotte Hope as Miranda.
Nijai Robert Pugh as Craster. Ew.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jinai Deobia Oparai as Arya Hota.
Jaini Kisha Castle Hughes.
Nizai Rosabelle Laurenti Sellers as Tyene Sand.
Sandbackers.
Nizai Jessica Henwick as Nymeria Sand.
Nizy Jonathan Price as the High Sparrow.
Oh no.
I think that's good. That's good for tonight. But there are actually minor characters too. This thing's no joke.
Alright, let's.
I haven't gotten to the minor characters yet.
Minor characters and then the minor characters. The major minors and then the minor minors.
All right. So on to the weekly quiz. So Glenn, These are his samples, so he will go last.
Yeah. All right. Starting off with, and I'll be reading out Mitchell's guesses. So starting out with Richard Burgess, vegan fitness YouTuber under the name Vegan Gains. What was your guess, Bruno?
Genai.
Okay. Ben?
Jibai.
Mitchell said Jibai. I said Naiji. What did you say, Glenn?
I said Vaiji.
He is Bai Ji. Although
Oh, that's what I was before.
if people are thinking Ji Bai, I can see why. He has a rather substantial noggin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got that pointy chin, you know.
And oh man, it makes him like I had him as like that was my first impression, but I changed it to G5.
Yeah. I had Naiji, but then I changed it.
Yeah, palette.
All right, Swayze Foster, vegan YouTuber under an unnatural vegan. What did you guess, Bruno?
Naizi.
Zaini.
Mitchell guessed Nijai. I guessed Zaini. What did you guess, Glenn?
I said Zenai.
Nizy.
Oh, I was
That's another one to take a look at.
Nizy. All right. Next up, John David Flawed, a fitness YouTuber under Obese to Beast. What did you guess, Bruno?
Izai.
Vizai.
Mitchell said Vizai. I said Vijay. What did you say, Glenn?
I said Jivai, but I can totally see where you guys are coming from.
This was a toughie, man. There was a lot of toughies on here. I think this is a Zenai.
Zena.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. See, I kind of looked to his face. I kind of thought he might be Pilot. I don't know. But, yeah.
All right.
A lot of Jai.
Livewire Sheaf, vegan pro free runner and YouTuber. What did you guess, Bruno?
Naiji.
Nishai.
Mitchell said Naiji. I said Nijai. What did you say, Glenn?
I said Nijai.
He is Nijai.
Yeah, he was on American.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks for the top.
Okay. Touching under Edgy Veg. What did you guess, Bruno?
I said Naiji.
What did you say, Ben?
Oh, sorry. I said Nizai.
Mitchell said Vijay. I went with Nizai. What did you go with, Glenn?
She was hard. I went with Jai V.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Jivey it is.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. She reminded me of Housley or Hosley. I forget.
Halsey.
And yeah, Halsey and Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, Stefani, I can totally see that. Okay, optionals. Brandon Campbell, fitness YouTuber. What did you guess for him, Bruno?
Vizai.
Vaiji.
Mitchell said Jivai. I passed. What did you say, Glenn?
That was between the Durst ends. I said Vaiji.
He is a Jibai.
It makes sense.
All right. Max Tuning, a fitness YouTuber. What did you guess for him, Bruno?
Genai.
Jivai.
Mitchell said Jibai. I went with Vaiji. What did you go with, Glenn?
I also said 5G.
Baiji it is.
Oh man.
All right.
So nerds.
Louis Marco, fitness YouTuber. What did you guess, Bruno?
Vaiji.
Vaiji.
Mitchell said Jibai. I went with Vaiji. What did you go with, Glenn?
I said Vaiji.
He was a toughie one. Lots of Vi, and he had some ethnic stuff going on. I believe it's a Jibai. But I thought possible Baiji. I even thought it's Z9 for a second just because of the cheeks, but that's more of an ethnic thing.
Okay. All right. Roberto Martin, vegan chef and author. What did you guess for him, Bruno?
Nijai.
Nijai.
Mitchell guessed Nijai. I guessed Vijay. What did you guess, Glenn?
I said Nijai. Yeah.
He's Vijay.
Oh, Nijai.
Laser. Okay, last sample, Hikaru Kobayashi, the Guinness World Record holding competitive eater. What'd you guess for him, Bruno?
Naiji.
Naiji.
Mitchell said Naiji. I went with Naiji. What'd you say?
Naiji.
Naiji it is.
Yes.
All right, so we have a few people in there. I think there's like 3. You know, we can look at.
All right, Richard Burgess.
Who got Richard Burgess first?
I got him.
Cool. Take lead, please.
Sure. YouTube.
Following me on Facebook, and if you've seen my last Q&A video, you'd know that my grandfather recently died of a heart attack. And I just got back from
What I noticed quite a bit with him was he's got a lot of preparedness to his eyes, like a concrete quality, which is obviously I think some of the guesses that you said were like Jiva and what were some other ones?
I had Naiji.
Naiji. So yeah, that's kind of what separated me from Vi versus Nai. As far as Jiva though, he has more of a, it's hard to say, but he doesn't have that warm pilot face quality, helmet of carrying. The eyes, they pop out more than they do the mouth area, and he's also got more of an elongation to him in the face, in the body as well, and there's more finer features going on as well. His chin is smaller. He's got a bigger brain. You can see that, but he's mainly got like elongated qualities to him, and that made me think of Hunter. And yeah, I don't know if that helps at all. But what were some others? Was that it? Just Jibai and Naiji, I think.
That drone's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Drone is heavy and it's leading.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty pervasive. Like I keep walking back and forth, and I keep, even though his voice trails to where I can't make out his words, I can still hear that drone.
Yeah, and he's also very tight in his delivery, I guess you could say. He's got like a very prepared quality. He researches things.
He's a little more uptight. I'll say tightly wound than a pilot would be. The hunters are more tightly wound. They take less space, but they're more tightly wound.
Yeah, so he's more naturally refrained as compared to a pilot would be. He's not. He's more intermittent with his eye contact too. He's not engaging like the way a pilot would. That's a lot of things like that kind of stood out to me. And he's got more
he's in his worldview a lot, like in his space and stuff.
And he's got the pallor. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's something going on with his face that gives it like a pallor quality to it as well.
It's generally like CERN quality. His whole delivery, he's never really dropped it.
No, you gotta be like this, and that's the way you do that. You perform CPR on him until the paramedics got there. So it's performed.
I've seen a lot of like GVI bodybuilders and like people on YouTube and stuff, and he was really one that stood out to me as like being a bit different as compared to the rest of them. And I think it was because of the fact that he's a Baiji. He's kind of, his qualia is very much different from the rest of them.
Are we good with this one, or would you like to see a different video with gesturing or something? What do you guys think?
I'm good myself. What about you, Ben? Bruno?
I think I'm good, but
All right, I'm good. More to look at? So,
Yep, Swayze Foster, NIC.
who got that right?
I did.
Bruno.
All right, Bruno, take lead, please. If you want, Bruno, you can, if you're using more of a picture method, that's fine. Why don't you go ahead and also just post some links to pictures that maybe said something to you of why you made your decision. So we can do guided tours of pictures or video or both.
Sure. Yeah, I use the video a little bit to help me.
So not vegan enough is the title of an article I think.
Yeah, she reminds me of Kennedy. Now, well, Kennedy though is Cena, right? Kennedy, the VJ, the MTV.
No, she's an IZ actually. Yeah, that is a good riff. I didn't find any IZ riffs right away, but she reminded me of a Chinese called Maria Ditzia, who's in Breaking Bad and Orange is the New Black. So her face, just superficially, she's very similar, and her mouth is very similar, but then the eyes are very different to me. So if it's not a Chinese, then I thought, well, maybe it's an IZ. And then watching the videos, the Nye for the sort of the Nye hunter power became more evident. But I got it through a partial riff with Maria Ditzia, who's a Chinese.
And then she mentions
I think I said no.
post. It was my pure vegan friends who chimed in to remind
I said Z Knifer, and then what made me think that was that she's got more of like this very. I thought I was seeing like helmet face with her, and I thought the anvil was more stronger. But I can see now that it's actually her face has a long quality for sure.
Yeah,
and the eyes they pop out more.
Indeed. Bruno, can you touch on that a bit, how you're able to see subjective? And then also, I think a lot of people were guessing Ziny. Could you see what made you think directive?
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, the riff with Maria Ditzia really solidified subjective and Z Zai user because of the mouth. But then the eyes looked very different. And also the eyes look to have more weight with this person.
B is not realistic. If I'm buying a bag of sugar for directly or
And yeah, the energy. I think a lot of it was just the energy that I saw in the videos. It's just much more like pure.
Yeah, one thing kind of stuck out like it was like a cue is just the amount of jutting she's doing, how quick her little juts are.
Yeah. Because if she were a pilot, she would be doing the double jut.
Yeah, and on that, she would also be more straightforward. She does a good amount of slinky with her juts. She juts quick and fairly frequently, but she's slinky with it like a Nye Alpha is. Not as full forward and double jutting also that a pilots tend to do.
And that, in comparison to like a tower, she's just more, she's got tensioning and she's more engaged than a tower.
Compared to a tower, she is jutting quite a bit, and they are, to me, noticeably percussive. Low viscosity.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that has been helping me find some of these trickier reads is like partial riffs. Like I get a ton of riffs, many of which are not like real riffs. They're like two different mojos, but sometimes like one element of it will connect. And this also helped with the Nizi last week as well. She reminded me of a Nizai. And so yeah, I'm trying to do a lot of work with like figuring out, because I don't want to just, a lot of times I just can't find a perfect riff, but there is a lot that I can gain from these partial riffs, and I'm trying to like self-assess what does it mean when, because a lot of like I was posting a lot of like things that I thought were incorrect, but they're just riffs that were false. Like a while back I was trying to post reviews. It's like this person looks just like this person, but it's like two Abrams. Right. A G9 and a Nijai, for example.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That might be something we'll need to get more fine-tuning in the riffing process as far as like collecting them for people, is that there are riffs between alchemy groups. That's not a wrong riff. That's actually just a muscle moving towards its correct position. The fact that you're riffing an Abram that is moving you towards the correct answer. You just can't lock onto it. Then there is like full riff, which is the exact configuration, and a lot of what's going on matches. And then there is, like you're talking, these partial riffs. You actually have the, say, exact configuration, but it's just the way their mouth does it, or their eyes, or the way they gesture. It's just a part, something particular. And all of them are valuable. But I think you're right. At some point, we'll probably have to categorize them separately. And for right now, we're looking for, as much as possible, the full correct configuration where there's a lot of riffing going on. This in general, quite a few things going on. Then later on, we can get to more narrow and more kind of loose with what alchemies are being riffed.
Yeah, and sometimes there's like even like you can riff of like an IZ and another IZ, but one's male and one's female, and then that's an interesting kind of connection too.
And that happens all the time too. That's actually a very good way of riffing. That's very helpful in quite a few cases. But I mean, it's all the time, particularly cases where you might have a lot of one of the genders. You can use that. For example, like I use Vijay females to help me read the Vijay males since I have so few of them right now. In the future, when I have more Vijay males, obviously I'll probably do different mental, gymnastics. But right now, that's the most effective one. But getting back to this case here right now, on this freeze frame, you'll see that when she shrugs and also does these head tosses to the right, and here she's doing eyes right, that's when her emoting engages, and you can see lower lip. The lower lip has more energy, a slight tremulous quality, expectant, not really aware of what it's doing. Watch a few more moments here, and you'll see she'll probably do a few more times where she comes out of her juts, and she'll go like, she'll make these emotive expressions kind of in reaction or along with it. Note she's generally doing that on the pauses and to the right. For those who are thinking Zaini.
How benign they pointed out. As Hank Green talked about in his recent video, Why Vegetarians Are Annoyed. We're annoyed because we're raised. We don't even have to be preachy about it. Just seem open, talking openly about animal ethics puts people on the defense.
A lot of energy on that lower lip.
Are not immune to it. The reality is that I'm sure we'd all like to not have any country.
You saw a big lower lip kind of press in there at the very end when she's talking.
Have a lasting, often negative impact. So whether I'm buying something with palm oil that makes me get, of course, this is nonsense. I talked about my
right there, very important, say between Nai-G and Nai-Z. She goes, of course, this is nonsense. When you have that kind of like breaking quality that shows I've weighed this and now I'm telling you it's right or wrong, when a G-Mojo does that, they actually sound cool. Let me tell you about that. You want to review your facts. I don't think you balanced that. It's actually a cool, slow your roll. Or like, I really thought this through. With her, she's like, and here's the answer. And when she kind of does her like tower moan, tower moan, it's warm. When G-Mojos have a tower moan, it's a cool moan. It's a cool moan of effort.
Yeah, there's always that. She even has that in some of the thumbnails for her videos, where she has that face like her doing a shy grimace or something. It's like she just weighed it, and her shy is like or eh.
Yeah.
And you can hear it too when she dialogues as well.
Exactly.
Part of being a good person is constantly looking to improve, constantly looking to do more. None of us are perfect, and we never will be. There's always work to be done. But for me right now, that means
All right, we're good with her. Let's try another sample. I think there's at least one or two more.
Does anyone want to take a look at Candace Hutchings, the Jivey?
Who got? Someone get that?
One person got it. Was
Glenn did, right?
Glenn?
I believe it was me. Yeah.
Take lead,
Yeah.
please. Oh, and what were you guessing on that?
I guess Nizai. I think somebody else said Nizai, and what was the other one? What did you say, Bruno?
Nai-G.
Okay, Naiji.
Yeah, she was pretty tricky. I was going back and forth between Nai-Z and Nai-G, and I think Jaini a little bit. And then it just kind of came to me, like, hold on, what about Jai-V? Then I was like, I started weighing it and thinking about it, and it started to make more and more sense. Because she has the V. I think I was seeing shades of Jai-V with the Nai-Z as I was weighing the Nai-Z very strongly. And
today on the EduVeg, we're going to be making a recipe that you guys have been asking for a lot, which is awesome because it's cheesecake and I love cheesecake. So coming up with this recipe was super, super fun, and I'm going to be making it a lot. So a lot there.
Yeah, I was noticing that she had Zha and she had V, like the way Nizi does, but it was her eyes looked too amped. It looked too natural for her, and it looked too strong. And I was like, that seems a bit like it doesn't make quite sense as far as Nizi goes. And she also didn't seem to have as much tensioning. Although I was kind of a bit confused about the emoting, how high it was going up her face. So I was really weighing that heavily to see. But I remember like there's other Jaivi like Madonna, and she has an interesting use of her C as well. And so that kind of like helped me to see that there's Jaivi riffs like that.
Start with pulsing it. You don't want it to be like too emulsified.
And her hands, her gesturing, it's very collapsible. You can I think maybe somebody said Vijay at one point. Those hands are not they're not fleshy. They're not wizardly or anything like that either. They're very languid. But she's got a lot of development with her directive powers, I believe, and so that's why it kind of makes it seem a little bit not as languid.
Plastic to the bottom. So just make sure the entire bottom is covered, and then go up the side a little bit. Make sure it's even. You don't want folds. Nobody wants to get gypped of their cake crust.
She's got that tower tunnel voice as well, and articulation is very good for her too. But
let's do that. Would you care for a date? Oh my yes, thank you.
It's definitely polar for her. Oh, there you can see the emoting going all the way up her face.
Baker's gonna make the actual cheesecake part of the cake. So I have these cashews that I've been soaking overnight, and you can soak them for as long as you want.
Yeah, she was hard for me. I was wondering about her, but then I felt Jaivi felt like the right answer.
You were thinking objective mojos, and obviously being a camera, she's keeping a lot of patter going.
Yeah.
We just want to add them.
All right, are we good with her?
Anyone
Anyone else that was tricky in there?
Either Brandon Campbell or Louis Marco or.
Louis Marco was pretty tricky, I believe, right? I think everyone's pretty much said Vi G except Mitchell said G Vi. I think I'm not sure.
Okay, you guys gonna look at him, Louis Marco?
Sure.
Well, this guy, he was tough.
Yeah.
He had a lot of Vi in refrainment, and he also has some pretty kind of flat cheeks. Not sheer cheeks, but flat cheeks.
I really like him, though. He sounds really cool.
Yeah. What really helped me, I don't know if Jailene will see it or not, he reminded me of a literal, I forget his name, but he's that traveler that comes to the Viking village and hooks up with the queen.
Yeah.
I was wondering about you know what I'm talking about? So, but anyway, he's got a full face, but he has a lot of Zion. He doesn't let it travel up his face much while he's doing this, so he's got a lot of Vi and Zi. And I think his cheeks are just kind of flat because of just the way he is naturally. Okay, a couple things. When he juts with the G and the Ni, it's brighter eyed than when a Vi does it, and it doesn't look as like bugged out. It looks a little like more natural, just like the V of the Jinai. It looks a little more natural when they perk up. It's brighter in general, and it perks up. It doesn't look as out of place as when a Ni Alpha does it. So that's one thing.
And his
what was that?
His G is also just stronger, and it's more like natural in the way that he uses it as compared to like a Vi G does too.
It's full, and also when he juts forward, he tends to not look away. Directives tend to kind of like have like they either go look away, jut, look away, pull back, look away, or if they're feeling more intense, they'll go look away, jut, burrow your eyes into the person, pull back, look away, or burrow your eyes, jut, keep burrowing, pull back, continue to burrow your eyes. But it never looks like just looking. He kind of just put his face out there like his face is in the rain or in the sun, and he's just connecting fully, and the eyes are just open. There's no other energy going on. It's more relaxed. Pilot's much more relaxed in the environment.
You were describing the hunters, right, I believe?
The pilot versus the hunter. The pilots, when they bring their face out, like their juts, it's fuller, it's more relaxed and just at ease there, and their eye contact tends to be less furtive or drilling. Hunters tend to either have their eyes dart away because they're directive, but when they jut, you can see they're not objective directives. Their eyes want to go way to the left, and if they don't do that, they'll like lock their eyes. But he was just forward with his eyes just at neutral, totally just doing whatever's there, and then his knee occasionally would perk up, and it looked a little like out of sorts, but not as much as it would for a hunter, a Vaishnav.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't hold that much.
Now, in contrast, did you see how he looked a little out of sorts there when he went to his Xi? We're talking about Xi resonating, that Ni Z. Now, Xi resonating. That was at 23 seconds. I don't pull back to say 20 seconds. Somewhere between 20 to 23 seconds, he goes to his Xi. Note, first of all, it's actually cool. That's a cool resonating or moaning. But then look, his face looks like It does not look natural on his face or comfortable. Like the Xi looks kind of like not comfortable constricting, and then it releases right away. It doesn't like holding like that. So play back here. All right, watch when he goes to his right. You see it? It almost looked painful. He's like,
Yeah.
The other day, he looked like he was lifting a weight. Did you see the other day?
Yeah.
I'll play one more time. It happens right around like 21, 22 seconds.
Absolutely to be smooth. Anyway, you guys told me yesterday I don't pose that much.
Yeah, pretty much from anyway. For about 2-3 seconds there, he's kind of like Zying that. That's what a G alpha Zying something looks like. He did it well, he did it quickly, and went right back into his moves. But that was major modulation right there, I believe. And then right here, you're seeing a G and Ni. So those are altered state, but they're not polar powered altered state perk ups. That's just offside. That's pilot perk up.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll now go on to the advanced portion. Glenn, you want to provide us for some new samples for the Barbie?
All right. There's quite a few I got here, but I think this one is good.
Vikings? I don't know what it is, something about his face. Because that guy has a very kind of like stoic quality too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who you guys are talking about. You guys gonna put that person's name in the chat bar?
Yeah, real quick, but this is when I first saw him, I immediately thought G Alpha because of this actor. But going off thing like Bruno, that got me into G Alpha. Then from there, I was like, it's a G Vi. But I went through all the other mojos right to G Alpha from this actor. He would actually be in Vikings. Okay. Let's see here. So no more. Okay. Let's see. Kevin Durant, I believe. And it's when he has his beard. Kevin Durant with the beard.
Okay. So.
Or you say Vikings in the beard Vikings.
I put it in. So these pictures.
So particularly when he has a beard. This actor when he has a beard reminded him right away.
Oh, right, the guy that plays. He's in the. I remember him. He plays a really fat guy in the movie with X-Men.
And he has, like in the Vikings, for example, too, he has a lot of like G charisma while being steely. He stays steely a lot. While not being cold, he's still warm, which is why I remind me of this guy. Because this guy actually had a lot of G when he was jutting, the vlogger, but he, kind of kept this. On there's certain parts of the world where they that's just sort of like, kind of like their demeanor a bit. Cool. All right. So who we got?
So this person is a YouTuber, Emily Morin Barwick. I put in a video here. Do I have to press enter?
My name's Emily Moran Barwick.
Okay.
I'm an artist, an activist, an educator, and I have a YouTube channel and website called Bite Size Vegan. I tend to educate about veganism in a fun and engaging, approachable manner that's based on hard facts and research. In a nutshell, there's no good reason not to be. I mean, everything and everyone benefits from.
I think she reminds me of Nijai Joan Osborne. Posted a link to her pictures there.
You want to lose weight, you're still gonna.
Interesting. I do feel like I'm seeing Jai and Z.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I'm riffing off of some Zenai and some.
Yeah, I have that impression
Oh,
too.
that could be as well, yeah.
There's one on The View, I believe. What's her name?
Oh, that's a good one. Sarah.
Oh yeah, Gilbert, Sarah Gilbert.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe she was at one point even read as like a NIZ, but I think she was updated, and now it makes. I think it makes sense too, because with Emily, she also has that same kind of riff, I feel like.
66 years if you take a 15-minute shower, or over 100 years if you take a 10-minute shower every day.
I'm not sure though.
No way to make that.
Yeah.
So there's a link to Sarah Gilbert. And another thing to consider would be the Vijay, because we're thinking Nijai, Zenai, then Vijay could also fit in there as a shade of Zenai, or it's a Jez gatherer with the Nijai.
And so it's an interesting.
She seems very like disengaged at times though, which kind of makes me wonder what's going on.
Just with a personal decision, and that I think is rather.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'm pretty certain about is the Zijai thing.
Not all, but a lot of change does depend on outside factors. Like they're getting lawmakers to finally listen and change policy, or getting corporations to be indicted.
Like right now she's disengaged and she's on her right.
We should
Now,
where we put our bodies and where we put our money, and
makes me wonder if like
and create this revolution.
does she have a lot of subjective power use going on, or does that mean that she is actually subjective and she's getting a lot from doing that?
So it doesn't always positively impact one's health, but I think that it also can be the healthiest way to eat. I think one of the
looks at the camera at all.
attended aspect of veganism is the element of well-being.
Is NIZ possible, do you guys think?
Important one because
I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of outward, even in this picture here that I posted, or linked to, like, she just looks out and, like, sort of gambling.
Everyone eating plants. Because we currently make enough food to feed everyone. There's no reason to have starving people. And, we do the telethons and we donate $1 but we're making
what do you guys
right
think
now to feed 10 million people.
I mean, her head is very like.
The animals that we're eating.
It is very pilotly looking, right?
Yeah, it's very piloty. I guess I could see gatherer, but
I
the
have
energy
the impression
vesting.
it's kind of a.
For someone to connect with an animal.
What's that, Ben?
Oh, her face, like, it's throwing me off because it's like, it looks kind of squarish, but at the same time, I'm thinking that might be pilot, but at the same time, I can see, like, how she might be a hunter as well. That's kind of,
And I think that
I feel like certain parts of her face look like they're fine featured. Like her chin looks a bit pointy, I don't know, and I think I've seen like
food out of the mouth.
she has
subjective
some
like
sharp
pictures
features for sure.
with like rounder faces too.
Animal rights aspect is the most is what
One thing that keeps bugging me is that she's not as engaged.
it's not
She talks a lot, but she's looking away all the time. Looking down, looking to her right,
who very much want to live just
and
like
she seems very refrained as well.
every one of us do. It's not
So that's kind of making me wonder
their lives
maybe subjective is possible.
when they live, we don't need to be eating these animals because we benefit in every way by not eating them. The only way that we're going to have a future for our children to have a planet to inhabit is by not eating animals. So there's nothing humane, there's nothing natural, there's nothing balanced about the way that we consume animals. And
I feel like I'm going back and forth between mainly the Dur Serbs though.
so all of these crises is veganism, and it's incredible the impact of what we choose to eat, what that has, because I think I think it can be underestimated to think that what goes on my dinner plate is affecting
Yeah, so
literally.
well, how about jutting rate and
Jutting.
like viscosity, high
Viscosity.
viscosity versus low?
I'm gonna pay more attention to that now.
Of humanity and the planet and everything. You know, it's so interconnected.
She's got a lot of jai, I can see.
Yeah, it's got a lot of shy. Yeah,
She's got a lot of jai.
doesn't go up much.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that she's, you know, like a jai alpha or like a jai mojo. Xenai can have jai, and Nizi can have jai too.
And everything, you know.
Trying to get a few. Oh,
That smile, that kind of does look like it might be localized, but
Yeah.
it's hard to say.
It's looking localized to me.
Could it be like Cheshire too, like sort of like a Nizai, but not necessarily Nizai, like a Nizi? It goes up, but not necessarily past the midline. Could that be possible?
Strong jawline and all the pictures that I see are very ample.
Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think the Sarah Gilbert riff is pretty strong. And she's a Z9.
Yeah. So do we want to watch maybe a different interview at this point?
Sure, I think at least one more would be good.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find something.
Her eyes look really cagey to me.
You know the video we're loading up?
Glenn,
Gotcha.
you were looking for one, right?
Yeah, I put one in. I'm not sure it's working.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to find ones where it's just her, but I think this one is pretty okay too. You guys can skip ahead to see if there's where she talks, maybe like 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, it seemed like an inner resonation, like a jai that she just did there, in reaction to what the other lady was saying.
Yeah.
So kids seem to have that information. They love you. Most children want to know how things work.
With Swayze, I was thinking Z9, and I thought that I really had that. But then she turned out to be Nizi, and so now with her bite-sized vegan, I'm thinking like maybe that might be the same thing going on, but maybe she actually is a Z9 and not a Nizi.
She's doing a lot of channeling in this interview so far.
Is that natural state or is that altered state? It's kind of tricky to try and see. But I feel like I'm willing to call it if you. I mean, it depends on you guys whether or not you guys feel comfortable.
Yes, I feel okay because I feel good about calling it. All right, Ben.
Oh, whether I feel like calling it? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to guess. I'm not, I'm not sure if we're all going to guess on the same thing, but necessarily.
All right. Looks like Bruno, he's not here, so Yes, maybe watch a little more until he comes back.
Sure.
And any parent is going to
I guess on my end, I'm seeing her eyes look really cagey. I'm seeing, a lot of Z bracing energy, but I'm not sure it's necessarily going throughout entire face.
you stop yourself from going to cars, so why not stop them from
She in some ways reminds me of Naiji. I've seen.
the same amount of connection? Of course, we are going to find on that side of it.
Again, doing tons of channeling, and I know that that's not the Maoist of it, but just the way she's doing it as well, it seems more.
Yeah, I think maybe she's like a Xeni with like a very, very yin game. And a very, very shy heavy game. It's hard. Or maybe she's a gabber?
I mean, I don't know. Like,
No,
what's throwing me off the most is probably because she has a kind of.
And it's not about,
She does have kind of a blocky face, but maybe that's making it hard to figure out.
So Bruno, how do you feel about calling it on her?
Yeah. I think we were all ready. Yeah, you said, I heard you say sure. Okay, so what is your guess for her? For not?
Xenoi?
Nizy.
And I'll say D9, and I'll have Nizy as second.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with what Xiaolin said. Z9 and Nizy.
Yeah, this is a Xeni. Interesting for me, it was between Xeni and Nijai because
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
squareness
Possibly.
and the compactness of her gesturing. I just couldn't see elongation for subjective in there.
Yes.
But I could see she definitely had a lot of subjective power use, a lot of Nai and Jai. Cool. All right, I think we have time for another one.
Who's our next?
Okay. Let's go with. Alright, let's go with her. Chloe Coscarelli. I'm gonna see if there's videos of her. There's find some media. What's the name?
I see one, at least.
Alright, I put in a video.
Hi, my name is Chloe Pasquarelli, and this is my interview with Unit 2. I grew up in a family that was
Kind of a
really
friendly look, vibe.
and then
Bless you. Bless you. Very smiley. Doesn't necessarily mean she's values-based, but
Yeah.
smiling. It's part of her game.
separate Thanksgiving spread and really started getting into
Yeah, she's a chef, so that's just something interesting to know about her. But
Her wrists look a little collapsible. They were collapsible. And her
yeah, I was wondering about that same thing too.
yeah.
She seems to have a very elongated quality to her as well.
Her eyes have like that clear lens quality of V, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too.
Kind of leaning towards shy V right now.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's a lot of emoting going up the cheeks and looks into the eyes.
And I was because I was the last person to have
And she has like a very heavy sort of voice, like with an emotive tone.
Martonal, yeah. And the shy motive.
I thought,
Yeah.
I was for sure gonna win. I thought you'd be out in the first round because
Yeah, I'm seeing Jai be quite strongly, but I did consider the V Jai a bit too with her.
Yeah, she just has a longer face and sounds.
Not as much V, right? Not as much of an amped quality, more of like a sway-like quality with the Jai.
Yeah.
talk about your family and your friends at school. It's a great way to spread the message.
I'm not sure what you guys are thinking, Ben, Bruno. Same thing?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I'm between the AdSense.
Trying to make sure she's not V shy, but I agree with what you're saying.
But yeah, leaning towards Jai V.
You want to look at another video?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Sounds good.
Let's see if this one.
Dominated with her amazing picks, coming in first place. And then, I mean, you've been all over the place on the cover of magazine, you're a contributor to Veg News magazine, and New York Times, and just all over TV and internet and everything. Amazing website. Thank you. Yeah. So what inspired you to start it all? Well, I've always loved making food and making cooking, and when I was studying in college, I realized that it's really spending so much time.
She has long digits, long fingers, and they have this. I don't know.
The eyes do have like a very clear look to them, but they look hooded too, right?
Her eyes,
Yeah, I think we can call it on her. I think.
Yeah, a lot of my viewers are actually
I'm not sure why you guys.
Ben, Bruno.
That's good.
Yeah.
Jai V then, I think, for everybody.
Okay, so starting with you, Bruno. Where do you land on her?
Jai V.
Ben?
Jai
I'm gonna go with Jivey on her. How about you, Glenn?
Yeah, same thing.
I think
No.
I need to watch more video myself because what I'm getting, this is a Z9 with lots of E and Jai.
No way.
What?
She seems so.
Their cheeks aren't moving.
I think we did that in like 5 minutes. Like I seriously think we closed on Jai V. Like
Or,
I think that literally was a.
I thought it was.
But here, they just keep doing this spiky, this classic, the blade, the spike hands that the Z Alpha do. Ding, ding, ding. She doesn't like that.
I mean, this is a classic coach case. Like, none of us could have gotten this in like 10 years, I don't think.
Yeah.
I was not even considering Xenon.
I thought it was like, I was going through.
I thought like if we got this wrong, it was V shy, but no.
Yeah,
no.
just I actually keep watching myself because I actually haven't still gotten this one yet fully.
Okay. Watching that, I guess.
That's what I was saying.
her digits are like so collapsible looking. Doesn't look like a.
It's tricky, but I keep seeing that her cheeks are not moving.
But I see a little smiley, doesn't it? And does she have like a?
Let's keep watching.
persona?
Let's keep watching.
What?
But right here, this freeze frame, I am seeing a very yin gesture, but I don't. It's not conclusive yet for me what that is. The face not either, but she's smiling a lot. It's going mainly sideways. I'm seeing very little activation of the cheeks.
She smiles. She smiles in like every single photo. Like there's not a single photo where she's not smiling, pretty much.
Yeah, she makes me feel a little bit uneasy, like a little bit like Robin Williams does. He does a lot of V, being an IG, and she seems to be doing a lot of Jai, and it makes me a little bit uneasy.
A lot of jazz. Just
Yeah, I myself would like to see. You guys call this one quickly. I myself would like to actually see more video. I'm still bringing this in. For me, right now, if I was like with you guys, I would be saying like her wideness of cheeks is bothering me a lot, and they don't seem to move a lot, and her smile seems more sideways than the more like long up smile that the Jai Alpha tend to have, or even Jai Tandem. So let me see a little more video, please. I would like to see at least one more. Did you guys put 2 videos of her on?
Yeah, we did.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Videos.
Okay, I must have missed the first one, or I was going to say.
Wait. This is the second video.
Okay.
Vegetarian.
that true?
We're vegetarian.
Oh, she
More
reminds me
confused for as
of
well.
Terrence Southern, who's on Neo Mega's. Is Xenai Terrence Southern?
Myself, I need another video to call this one. Is there another video?
I put another one in the playlist.
Yeah, because I'm having to reconcile the hands and the face.
Hi, my name's Dustin Harder, and this is, oh my god, that's vegan! I'm here with Chloe Cosgrove, the one, the
Sorry,
only.
the name is Lauren Southern.
You know what? Her smile does look kind of off. It does.
What is the mission?
Yeah, the whole time I felt like this person's making me feel very uncomfortable because she's just like overdoing something.
So big dry smile, like her whole face is activated.
She's
it's
talking
kind of
very
like it
easily
almost
here,
looks like
lots of jutting. She's doing like jut wagging.
Yeah, Lauren Southern. Xenai Lauren Southern.
Might just have long digits. It's good to review in this case though, but so far
She's got like that
I see
politician.
an issue with her yinness and her long digits, but her face, the way the smile is, the cheeks, how much she's jutting, it's really it's saying Xenai to me. But now I have to reconcile these hands. She might just have long digits.
wow.
She may have like that Xenai politician smile.
Yeah.
Oh, this is way above that. Like this is
No, this is like hospitality industry smile.
Oh yeah, like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got you.
it does make sense though. I mean,
Also, something to note is this kind of like frozen smile she does. It doesn't seem natural a bit to me. Besides, it doesn't move a lot. The other thing is that Jai is an expectant power. It's a tower power. Here with this guy, and also with the interview before when she was saying, "Oh, you did this with your blog, and you're doing this with your book," and she was actually even being praised. She was uncomfortable. She was uncomfortable going that long without talking and going forward.
yeah.
Like
It's
actually,
very uncomfortable.
sitting there being the receiver, and this was actually like praise. She was sitting there receiving praise, and it was actually like a bit uncomfortable for her.
Yes, yes, that's what I was feeling. I'm feeling very uncomfortable. Not that that's I mean, I get, not like in a necessarily bad way, just like something's off, something's wrong here. I'm glad we called it quick though, so you could do this because we would never get this in a million years. Like literally, we could sit here forever, and none of us would have ever said Xenai.
Well,
I think
we haven't seen this one as much, but actually it's not as uncommon. Both the Xenai, male and female, actually can be like heads of hospitals, social coordinators. There's actually quite a riff of Xenai ladies who do matchmaking, how to find. So
That's true. Yeah, but I feel like I can see that they're Xenai more clearly. They're more like the typical sort of like.
I'd like to get where we can zone in her gesturing a bit because her yinness in her face doesn't bother me as much because her bright eyes, she does look bright-eyed, but it doesn't look like it ever is like totally receptive. And her Jai definitely doesn't look like it's ever like totally naturally receptive. The hand gesturing is a bit trickier, particularly because of how much hand gesturing she's doing and that they're long.
Girl. The fries are really good. Patty made out of
Look like a taco salad. So,
it tastes like
and now, New York City.
That smile. That's not traveling much at all. She's actually doing quite a little pugnacious thing here, and she's not comfortable actually waiting.
Yeah, I put in a video of her with good gesturing in it.
Now that I know it's a Xenai,
What's
it's
that?
a lot more comfortable for me to drink it in.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, knowing that it's a Xenai, because when I was trying to match it with a Jai-V, I was like, something feels very uncomfortable here.
Yeah. But I can see why you guys think AdSense. She has a lot of V and Jai, and he's playing this kind of like yin hostess thing.
That's an interesting.
That's so crazy.
Just like a really modulation heavy instrument.
Gestures. Her gestures are bothering me. I'm wondering if perhaps, like I said, I'll still point it in, perhaps this might even be a Xine.
That's. Oh my gosh.
That might explain the elongation, but the thing that struck me first was those cheeks are not moving. I still haven't seen them move, and she seems a little like unnatural, altered state on the emotive maneuvers. But like Janine was saying, I think you did as well. Those gestures are quite long, languid. Yeah, I think the broadness of her face made me think Z9, but it might have been. I was saying, going back to that alchemy reading, I might have been reading Zenez.
You know, it makes a lot of sense too. The smile does look aware, but oh my gosh, it's
not traveling. That's the firmest thing that's standing out is that I'm looking at a logic based, in particular like Zez Alpha, the very low, like here she's laying it on, she's smiling, and there's just so little traveling, and like being like totally taken over by it. Okay, I'm going to look at this more during the week, and I'll confirm. I believe soft read. I may be looking at a Xine.
Well, that was a.
That was good. But you guys.
We saw a tower.
No, you saw tower. Now it was good because actually, you normally I read them pretty quickly, but she was taking me some while. So you guys got to hear me kind of like talk out the rest of me completing a read.
That's good though. I like that. This is a different kind of way to get in. Like you're also included in the group a little bit as far as like your thoughts.
I think I really enjoy taking the time to like, especially when we get something wrong, to really talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, time constraints and so forth, but it's nice when we can do that.
Hearing your thought process, Coach, was really, I felt like it was really good to get that input.
Cool. So we'll do more in the future. But yeah, so that's what I'm going right now is a soft read Xine, but I would like to look at her some more. She's tricky. But actually, also on that, Bruno, I'd like to actually take a look at some of the modeling collaging that I'm doing before I do her again. I think that would be quite helpful. Because some of those Xine models we've noticed, some of them don't just have sheer cheeks, they're quite broad. Some of the different ethnic backgrounds have some rather broad cheeks, even though they're a tower. All right.
Yeah, and they're all pretty tall too, so that changes the proportions.
It does. All right, so that was a very good session. A lot of good new stuff in there. Bruno will be taking these samples this week. All right, anything before we sign off?
No.
All right, we'll say goodbye, world.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.